Hi, my name is Andrew St. Pierre, and I'm an estate planning and probate attorney here at Althouse Law. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area in Northern Virginia. I'm from a little town called Burke, Virginia. And then I went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville to get my undergraduate degree, where I majored in business and logistics and marketing. I then went on some adventures. I worked in restaurants for a few years. I've lived in Thailand a couple times. I taught English over there. Pud Pasa Tai Dai Nid Noi Kap means I can speak a little bit of Thai. I was also in the Air Force. After that, I went to law school and I went back to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville for my law degree. So I am a huge University of Tennessee volunteer sports fan. I watch a lot of football and basketball, and I am a big supporter of the Vols. I started out my law career in East Tennessee and worked there for the first few years, and I did mostly family law and a little bit of criminal defense. And what I primarily did was do court-appointed or indigent representation of poor parents who had had their children removed from their custody from the Tennessee Department of Children's Services. So these were usually people that didn't have a lot of money and that were unfortunately addicted to some sort of drugs, or they were accused of some sort of child abuse. And so that was really stressful and taxing on me, and I lost a lot of sleep doing that kind of work. I moved out to Colorado and did a little bit more of family law and criminal defense, took the Colorado bar, and eventually ended up here a couple years ago at Althouse Law, and I have never been happier. I love estate planning. I love that I still get to help people, but here we get to do flat fees. I get to tell people exactly what I can give them and how much it's going to cost for an estate plan. And I don't have to go to court very often. There's not usually an opposing counsel, and there's not some court date coming up that's giving me stress. And so I still get to help people here, and I get to basically guarantee results. I can give a flat fee to people, and I don't have to have all of those stresses that were involved in my previous legal work. So I absolutely love estate planning. And especially here at Althouse Law, we have an amazing culture and an amazing team that works here. We have a dog-friendly office, as some of you may know. We have a kegerator in the office, and so we get to do a lot of fun stuff. So it's been truly a blessing working here, and I have never been happier. I moved out to Colorado just about 4 years ago. I have one little brother who grew up with me in the Washington, D.C. area, and he actually went to the University of Colorado, and so he's been out here now for about 20 years and lives in the Denver area. He lives in Lakewood and is a police officer, and so I moved out here kind of to be closer to him and then be closer to my mom who lives out here as well. She moved out here about the same time that I did, and she lives in Arvada. I also have a lot of extended family out here, and I always have. My aunt and uncle were both doctors, and they came out to Colorado in 1970 and told everybody they'd be back to the DC area in a year and just never returned. So I've always had cousins out here, my aunt and uncle, and so there's a lot of family out here, and so it's perfect for me because it feels still new after 4 years, and there's a ton of stuff to do out here in the outdoors, but it also feels like home because I'm close to my family. Kind of a fun fact about me is kind of during the pandemic, about a year ago, I adopted a cat from a rescue in Highlands Ranch called Sloppy Kisses. My cat's name is Cat. He's a little bit older. He is about to turn 9. He doesn't really have any teeth or any claws, but I am absolutely in love with him, and he has, over the past year, become my best friend. So simple fact about me is I love my cat.